Hi Ross, difficult afternoon at Meadow Park. Can you give us your first thoughts on the game?
Listen, I think Threave are a very good side, so you know it was always going to be an uphill game because it is such a tough place to come. They're a very good side, they're very quick on and off the ball, they react really well, and they're well coached. Clearly you can see that they're well coached because their second goal comes from probably being very well coached and us probably just a couple of moments maybe never went for us. But yeah, listen, disappointed to get beat, especially the scoreline. I think when we went down to 10 men, it obviously changes the match with a couple of moments in the half with 11 and 10 men that we didn't take, and unfortunately in another day, we might have been more clinical and got something from the game.
It was a brighter start to the second half, but it's made all the more difficult with the second yellow to Shaw. So we'll battle on with 10 men after that, but can you take some positives from the battling?
Yeah, I mean, I think even in the first half, the difference was we actually tried to impose ourselves on the match. I'm not going to make excuses. Obviously the build-up to the game wasn't ideal, just with a couple of scenarios that played out. That's not an excuse, so I understand it from the players' point of view because they're young. We've came down. I think we've shown them a little bit too much respect, but at the same time, I feel aggrieved that we've had two bookings in the first half that, I mean, for me, I don't think there's an awful lot in them. And there's been similar challenges that's went unpunished. I think there's just a lot of subjective inconsistencies now. Like, they don't start counting down and goal kicks until Threave are 3-0 up. They don't start counting down and throw-ins until Threave are 3-0 up. Now, I'm not saying that was, there was anything at play other than, if you're going to start counting down, it's got to be for minute one or you don't do it. And I think even the sending off, I don't think you can be absolutely sure that is a dive for me, and if you are, then great, you must be in an amazing position to see absolutely no contact taking place, because I think where the incident has happened and where the plays came from, I just think that you've got to be really, really, especially with a second booking and how impactful in the game that's got to be. I think you've got to be really, really sure. And then 5 minutes later, there's another incident where our player probably does the right thing and stays on his feet. Again, on first viewing, you think that's potentially contentious. Had our player made a meal of it? Is there a different sort of outcome? I don't know. But anyway, look, it is what it is, we move on. The boys fought well the second half, and we did have some moments, but again, we go up the road and we've been beat 3-0, and unfortunately that's life.
I suppose, sort of bigger picture, first 4 games in a higher league is 2 wins out of 4 so far. Can you take a lot of positives and sort of motivate the boys to keep going for the following games?
I don't think that, at this moment in time, where we are as a team, Threave are not our battle. Did we come here and were we competitive? Yes, and that is pleasing. The scoreline looks sore because it's 3-0. We've played, over half an hour with 10 men, and that's the second game of this season that we've played just over half an hour, on half an hour with 10 men. I've been kind in saying that this team's been together for 6 weeks. We're probably not. We're probably a lot shorter than that. But again, we can't use excuses. We just need to, dust ourselves off. We've got a really tough game next week, and again, we've got a night's training and a bounce match on Wednesday where we can go and try and implement some more things with the boys. But I personally, as the manager and as the coach, I hope I'm not coming across condescending here, but I would be looking at December, January time, and if we have not travelled a better distance, then again I would say, right, okay, maybe we're not where we should be. I think getting 6 points out of 12 was a good achievement for this club.
Thanks a lot, Ross.
Cheers.